Hello, welcome to Just Bird Tarot. Today I'm going to do a hashtag, what do you call them, a VR, to the top 5 standout decks for the year. Wait, that's really shiny. Can you tell I'm really over winter? I'm just going to put this board here. Oh, I should have zoomed in. Whatever. And I don't know who started this tag, but I just feel like doing something different and not reading cards today. But I'm going to start with my first standout deck. I was really surprised by Yuletide before I put it away for the year. I'm just so over winter, if you can't tell. I'm ready for Valentine's Day, spring. We just had our first snowstorm last night, but oh, it wasn't bad. So I was just really surprised by this deck. I had seen people, they got it like I don't know, I think it was during the summer, and were showcasing it on their channels. Boy, can I not have a glare, or is that impossible? I guess it's impossible with a glossy deck, right? But I found this deck to be quite nice and friendly, and the stories it can tell. I love all of the detail. Look at her. you know, moon energy in the back there. Just I love this deck. So I utilize this. I suppose this tag is, these are 5 decks that we purchased this year and used. I purchased more than 5, and I've used all of them at least a little bit, but this was my favorite deck out of all of the Christmas decks, and I have a handful. I was surprised I didn't gravitate toward the King's Journey, because that's been a favorite of mine for years, and didn't pick it up once like to do a reading. Didn't pick it up, didn't pick up the Winter Wait. I stuck with this one and the Elf Tarot. So that's the first one. Now I'm going to put this away for this season. Even though, I don't know, you could read with this all year long. I'm just over it. Like the dark nights, the darkness. I'm really over it. I cannot wait for spring. And if it's not going to be spring outside, spring is springing up in here. Which brings me to Valoria's Tarot. My number 2 is the Valoria Tarot by Sam Rook, Sam West. Now, I have the indie version of this. However, there's only one card that's different. I utilize this one more because of the size, and the cardstock is just easier to manipulate when you are reading cards like back to back to back to back. So it shuffles very well. I was just really impressed. So this one took the cake for me, and I feel like I want to read with it now because of the color and the imagery just being very feminine and easy breezy, pastel, springtime, just calling my name. So I really enjoyed this. Now, I'm not sure if Sam still has any left of the indie version of the full-size deck, but she had those on her website for $25. Just FYI, she's taking a break, and she had some very affordable items. Now you have to navigate the website, though, because when you just go straight there, there's a big headline that says I'm taking a break for a while. So click on the shopping button up in the right hand corner, and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about and see if she has any of her decks and art available for a very affordable cost, which was half off, I think, of what I paid for the indie version. Why it's escaping my mind right now, the title of the original. However, I think I did pay $50 on Etsy and it's there full size, the beautiful cardstock, with the blue edging, just phenomenal for $25. So I really like this, and this got to go places with me. I did take this home with me this summer. I didn't really read with it. I just kind of shuffled it to calm my nerves. So that one got a lot of use. And then the Cozy Witch, which came in, and I received this. Well, I didn't receive it. I actually purchased this at Barnes and Nobles, and in person. And if it doesn't just scream fall, right? The change of scenery, the autumn colors, just absolutely a great deck. I was a little put off by the cardstock, but after a few shakes, not at all. I felt the same way about another deck that is actually making it into, it's an Oracle deck, that's actually making it into one of my top 5 standout oracles for the year. So I won't mention it, but I was a little thrown off immediately by the cardstock. I was like, ew, and then it became a favorite oracle of mine, and the cardstock is fine. It's just I'm the problem. So, like, 5 of Wands, a good coven lets every witch have a say. So that was a nice card to read. But I like the imagery. I like the stories that it tells. I love the colors, everything about it. I love it. It just, when the September comes, this will be the deck that's like, oh, please pick me up, girl, pick me up. But I feel like I would read with this any time of year, just for the simple fact that it's a delight to read with, and I am drawn to the autumn, the autumn colors and all of that, and I like it. It's not too large either for my hand, so, which I thought maybe it was going to be, but it's not, unless, arthritis is acting up or something, and I have a hard time with all decks at that point. So the Cozy Witch Tarot, I don't have the box out here. Now, I was really shocked by Cthulhu's Vault, and I don't even know if I'm saying the name properly, but by the end of September and into October, this became my deck. This was my deck for October, along with I think another one. But this was just one that I really favored. I enjoy it, and the price for this is very affordable. I think it was less than $20 on Amazon. I'm not really certain, but it was a, the price was not up there. And I enjoyed reading with this. I enjoyed the reads that I received from this. And I was surprised because I was like, oh, dark deck, I wasn't in a dark mood this past season. So that's when the fluffy, the Cozy Witch and Valorians was in my hand. And then it was like, oh, Halloweeny and trick-or-treaty. So I grabbed this, and boy, did I really enjoy the deck. Whatever. I just really enjoyed everything about it. Except maybe the backs, but they're okay too. For, a dark gray. Whatever. So this got some use during the month of October. I really did enjoy it. There is a booklet in there. I didn't read it though. So I can't give any input on that. And my 5th deck, I believe this is the 5th one, right? Yule, 2, 3, 4. Yes. is the Necromicon. Necromicon. Maybe I was saying that wrong. All right. Now this one, I have to read the book a little bit, just to see the author's meanings of the card, and they do provide an upright and reversed, and a little lineage about each card. Except once you get down here, it's just the upright and reversed here. Very nice though. Quick read, nice messages. I enjoyed it. Now, this, I love the imagery. I love the color, the black with the teal green. Oh, favored by me, and the imagery. And I'm not thrown off by like 9 of Beakers or anything like that. It doesn't flub up any of my reads. There's the pentacles, and then we have the torches. Just I really enjoyed this deck. Now, here we go, the aliens, right? Which, the 5 of Beakers. Pentacles. I don't know. And there's the torches. I'm looking at the books. Very nice, for swords energy, the knowledge, the books, the learning, the education, the truth, right? Very nice. The void. And I was a little bit put off at first but I picked it up from Barnes and Nobles. It's my favorite place to go during this, when it's not winter. I just isolate all winter. The fall, depression could set in, but I just changed my diet to combat bouts of depression during the dark times of the year. Corruption, look at that. I'm just so impressed. And again, not a bad price for this deck. I don't know what it was, what the price, I don't know if it's on here or not. What does it say? $24.99. It's so small. My goodness. People need to understand that all of us don't have 20/20 vision, even with glasses on, It's ugh. Anyhow, my collection of decks, since my mother passed away in July, it's actually been, today is the 7th of January, so it's been exactly 6 months to the day today. And I'm not sad because today happens to be my son's birthday as well, so I'm not sad about it or anything like that. But after her passing, I purchased a little bit too much after having a purge at the beginning of the year and getting rid of a lot of decks. I, kept consuming and purchasing, so I may have to do an update on my deck collection for 2023 because it superseded what I had expected to purchase during the year. But I did allow myself some grace with it, and I'm okay with the purchases that I made. There weren't many that I didn't use, at least once or twice. And I do want to say I have an honorable mention here that I almost forgot about, but it's an indie deck, so I didn't really want to include it, but I'm going to include it. And it is the 3rd edition of the Ask Madame Clara a Question deck, right? Madame Clara, Fate and Destiny, Fortune, 78 card tarot. I forget who the creator of this is. Thought maybe it would have been on the box, but it's the same creator of the 5-cent tarot. And I purchased this years ago. years and years ago, and I never used it because I was thrown off by it. Now you can see I've used it now. It's been on my table. I've been using it as of late, and I'm really liking it. Words on cards and stuff, like, you know, I wasn't, I don't know, my tastes changed throughout time. So I'm not put off by it at all. I actually rather enjoy it, just like, you know, the comfy, cozy, the cozy witch tarot. I find them to be, in the cozy witch tarot, they're very gentle messages, as are these. But I really just found myself gravitating towards some decks, toward this deck, right? I didn't get rid of a lot of decks from the past, right? You know, when my mom went into the hospital in June, and then she passed in July, it kind of like halted that entire process, and I kind of went into a bit of a funk after the passing, after everything settled, where I wasn't running across the state and driving for hours at a time, you know, things like that. I wasn't run down. And once the darkness started coming, the long dark days and cool, like, you know, the chill in the air, I started to get in a funk. Like I mentioned, I change up my, you know, my diet to combat depression, and it works for me, you know. And I can share what worked for me was you know, straight protein and fat, high protein diet, and the elimination of all sugar and carbohydrates. And when I was getting into a funk, that diet kicked out everything. Like immediately, I had, my momentum was back, my energy was restored, and anxiety and depression were gone. And before my mother had passed, I was having a very difficult time with anxiety, like literally due to mental pause. And what had happened was, when I would lay down to go to sleep at night, I was afraid that I wasn't gonna wake up. And I don't know why such a fear, because I'm really not afraid to die or anything. There's not much in this life that's really worth living for. I mean, like, you just kind of pay bills until you die. So, well, you know, if I could eliminate that some way, shape, or form, maybe then life would be a little bit more pleasurable or whatever. But I don't see anything that I would stick around for. No, I'm not like have any ideology or anything running around in my head. I'm just a realist by nature, and it's like, no, life's not really all that. In this time period, maybe years ago, life was would have been, I don't know. Like, I'm talking about like in my grandparents, my great grandparents' time, maybe life was worth living back then. Well, probably because they had like 14 or 15 or 18 kids. So the majority of their life was like child rearing. So by the time they grow up and grow out, you are older, and it's just like, whew, I finally get a break. Nobody's in college anymore, you know. But there is always an adult living with my grandmother and my great-grandparents at some point. If it wasn't an adult child of theirs, it was an adult grandchild, you know. So times were different. All right, this board is made by Jamie Sawyer. If anybody knows how I can get my hands on a copy of a real out of hands tarot that was by Jamie Sawyer, I missed the boat on that, and when I went to purchase one, there weren't any. So if there's anything that anyone would like to trade, or if anyone has one for sale, please get in touch with me at justbird9@gmail.com. I would love to have a copy of that. and go on over to Sawyer336.com if you'd like to purchase any of her artwork or her tarot tiles or her casting boards or the number of things that she has for sale. All right, folks, my next video will be the top 5 Oracle. You know, that I forget the name of this tag, but it'll be Oracle versus Tarot. All right, have a great day. Bye.